I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
We are tonight's entertainment.
It's showtime.
It's showtime, folks!
What's your favorite scary movie?
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Do it.
It's showtime.
Man, we got a lot to break down. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to go over. We got a lot of news yesterday from Ed Boon himself, from the trailer, the gameplay trailer. Lots to talk about. What's up, everyone? My name is DJ CS. Welcome to an all-new video here on my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to be breaking down everything we saw yesterday from the Summer Games Fest Mortal Kombat 1 gameplay trailer exhibit featuring Ed Boon himself, where he gave us quite a lot of information. We're going to be talking about that, and we're going to be discussing some things. If you're new here, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you enjoy this video, please drop it a like. I would greatly appreciate that. So the trailer starts off with both Kung Lao and Raiden. We kind of missed this at the Summer Games Fest, but both Kung Lao and Raiden getting attacked by Scorpion and Sub-Zero in what looks like the same spot we saw them come together in the first trailer. Kung Lao throws his head at Sub-Zero, but it's not sharp and it bounces off the back of Sub-Zero's head. We do see Kung Lao in his traditional outfit later on in the trailer, and we'll get to that more in a bit. But Kung Lao grabs something that is sharp and throws it at Sub-Zero, and then we get the first look at the actual fighting, and it looks clean. Liu Kang says someone is worthy of joining them, but it looks like he's saying it to Kung Lao and Raiden.
Today, you have proven worthy of joining us.
Clearly, Liu Kang is gathering people for the fight to come. Who's it against? We don't know. And then we see Scorpion and Sub-Zero standing behind Liu Kang as he says,
There are other champions, I must gather.
Now, one thing to note is that when we saw Scorpion and Sub-Zero in the beginning, in the first trailer, they were looking at this circle in the sky, and now we see them fighting Kung Lao and Raiden. Maybe that circle in the sky was from Liu Kang himself. Maybe it wasn't somebody like invading or whatever. It's Liu Kang going around and trying to find people to join his team, join his squad, to fight this evil that we don't know about yet. We then see, who I didn't recognize at first, Kenshi, who doesn't appear to be blind, who is challenging Johnny Cage in Cage's home because Kenji wants his family sword back. They then go at it, and Kenshi looks like he's going to be a very interesting fighter, kind of Noob Saibot-ish, with like the astral projection there that he's doing. But then we also get to see our first look at Cameo Fighter, and it's classic looking Sub-Zero, who I thought might be Kwai Lang, but isn't, as we get a good shot of him later in the trailer. And it seems the Cameo Fighters will do more than just add combos, as it looks here that Sub-Zero is involved in this X-ray-like attack. The fight is then broken up by Liu Kang, who sets off the smoke alarm, and Scorpion bows to Liu Kang, but Sub-Zero does not, and kind of looks like Hanzo, like, well, what are you doing? We then see Liu Kang fighting Scorpion, and Jax is a Cameo Fighter. We see some air juggling in the fighting. We then see Raiden with his powers fighting Kenshi. But at the beginning, Kenshi tells Raiden that
you have skills, Raiden, but you're inexperienced.
Whatever experience I lack, I make up for in heart.
Which is odd to hear since Raiden is like 1,000 years old originally. But during the fight, we see classic Sonya and Kano being used as Cameo Fighters. I think this may be a fight from the selection menu and not one from the story, because A, the Cameo Fighters, and B, because Raiden finishes Kenshi by blasting a hole in him. We then transition over to Mileena and Katana, and speaking of transitions, we see Melina's teeth changing from normal to that of a Tarkatan. Mileena is strapped in this chair thing, and is most likely, this is how she gets Tarkatan blood injected in her, but as an adult and not created with it as a clone. Now, we don't know why this is happening necessarily. We don't know if maybe she was abducted and it was injected into her. We don't know if maybe she had a sickness and the only cure was more cowbell. Sorry, the only cure was Tarkatan blood. Again, we don't know, but it's interesting to see that this is how this is going to play out. I think there is some audio trickery here, as Katana says,
if your disease becomes known, you will be banished. I only want what's best for you.
Or do you secretly covet my throne?
So apparently Melina is the queen of Edenia, as it would seem, but I think this too is from the selection menu, and this is just the dialogue they have before the fights that they've been doing for some time now. One thing I noticed is that Melina's hairstyle here is different from the one we saw in the first trailer. Here it's more grown out, whereas in the first trailer the sides were shaved. We see Goro as a cameo fighter, and then it switches to Raiden fighting Sub-Zero with classic Kung Lao as a cameo fighter, then Liu Kang fighting with Melina with Stryker as a cameo fighter, Johnny Cage fighting Kung Lao with Jax as a cameo fighter, and then it switches and we see Scorpion with classic Kung Lao doing what appears to be a tag team fatality on Sub-Zero. Now, unfortunately, I can't show all these fatalities because YouTube is stupid with video game violence. It's okay for like the actual channels, you know, the IGNs, the Mortal Kombats and stuff, to upload these videos in full and not have any issues, but us as content creators and reactors and stuff can't upload them without getting them demonetized. And not that I care about demonetization, because I don't get monetization for my videos, but I don't want to get hit with like warnings and strikes and all that stuff. So we're going to cut all that out, but I will explain what happens. We see classic Kung Lao using his hat to dismember Johnny Cage. Kano then rips out Sub-Zero's heart. Scorpion pulls Sub-Zero's head through his own body. Johnny Cage smashes Kenji's head when he does a split, who is now wearing the blindfold, Kenshi is. And then Raiden shoots up through Scorpion. I believe this is Scorpion. You see the yellow. This must be the rest of the finisher that he started with Kenshi, because first he shoots a hole in them, and then he goes up and rips them in half. He goes up through the hole. And then we see another tag team fatality with classic Sub-Zero ripping off Raiden's head and pulling out his spine. Classic Sub-Zero fatality, but this time Scorpion's there with him. All of that told us a lot, but Ed Boon gave us more. Ed Boon then comes out and says that this is a completely different story, and then he says Sub-Zero and Scorpion are brothers now. It's confirmed. They are brothers. That's like, what? What about Kuai Lang? Is Kuai Lang never born now? I don't know. Maybe Kuai Lang will be the younger brother still, but they are brothers. He confirmed it. He didn't say brothers in arms. He just said brothers. We get a look at our fighter selection screen, and we can see that there are 24 slots for main fighters and then 16 slots for cameo fighters. Ed Boon reveals that some of the characters will be available as both cameo fighters and main roster fighters, and says Sub-Zero with Sub-Zero, same thing with Scorpion. So basically what that means is you can play as Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat 1 with classic Sub-Zero, and you can play as Scorpion with classic Scorpion. So he kind of confirmed that Scorpion 2 will be a cameo fighter. He also says that the majority of cameo fighters are nods back to the first game. Then he reveals that Jean-Claude Van Damme will not only be a skin for Johnny, which we knew about, but Van Damme is also doing voice work in the game for Johnny Cage. He said for Johnny Cage, but from what we heard in the trailer, that didn't sound like Jean-Claude Van Damme, so I'm assuming he does the voice work for the Jean-Claude Van Damme skin. So what can we gather from all this? Liu Kang is getting a team together to fight what we don't know, and that team seems to be Raiden, Kung Lao, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, who are apparently brothers now, Johnny Cage, and Kenshi, who doesn't appear to be blind yet. We gather that there are cameo X-rays, where your cameo fighter can participate in like an X-ray type maneuver. It's what we're going to call them for now until we know what they're actually called. Cameo finishers, tag team finishers. Some main roster fighters are also cameo fighters, but some cameo fighters are just cameo fighters. And right now we know of 8 out of the 16 cameo fighters: Goro, Sonya, Jax, Kano, Stryker, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Kung Lao. We can also possibly assume that maybe Liu Kang will be a cameo fighter if we're going like with the first one, maybe even Raiden, but we definitely know out of 8. And then we also know 9 definite main roster characters: Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Kenshi, Melina, Kitana, and Johnny Cage. And we also know, at least it leans that way, that Melina is the Empress or Queen of Edenia. Definitely some big changes to the mythos of Mortal Kombat, and it is exciting. I can't wait to play this game. There will be more info coming, and I will definitely be covering it. So if you are not already doing so, please subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you be notified every time I upload a new video. That is going to do it for this video, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, please drop it a like. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments on all this. Do you like the changes? Do you dislike the changes? Are you happy with it? Are you mad with it? How do you feel about Scorpion and Sub-Zero being brothers? How do you feel about Melina being the Empress of Edania? There's a lot. There's a lot to take in, and we've got a lot more to get. But that is going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like I said, drop a like. It means a lot to me. But that is going to do it. Catch you in the next one, guys. And as always, don't forget to tip your DJ. Later, dudes.